Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, for housekeeping, please hit that like button and subscribe. Once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of videos that I have completed on movie and television reviews and our pop culture chats. And that's what this is today. You see the title Monique, Mike Epps, and Shannon Sharpe Fallout from Club Shay. Now, you have seen a plethora of videos that have gone over meticulously on what has happened. So I'm going to do a different spin on this whole thing. The first thing I want to talk about is you remember Monique did her interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay, and she mentioned her eldest son, and she very briefly spoke about how she wasn't a good mother to him, and that she had prayed to the universe that things would work out. All right. And here recently, I've seen the video. I'm not going to play these videos or anything like that because when I talk about Shannon and Mike Epps, you're going to understand why. He came on and he spoke. Monique spoke her truth, and the son spoke his truth. And so basically, what we see is that as Monique was working and doing her career, she did neglect and did not pay much attention to her eldest son. She bought him gifts. She thought buying him gifts and things like that would appease her absence. And as the son has said, it did not. He was very thankful for the things and the lifestyle that he led, but he wanted his mother, and his mother was not there for him. And one of the things, I talk about these pop culture chats is that we get something out of this. And one of the things that I hope as a populace that we get, because we have this ability of putting our mothers on pedestal, regardless of what's going on. And the same way with our fathers. But mostly I can see a lot of times with our fathers, we have more ease of putting them down and have more ease of putting our mothers on pedestals. And then as a grown woman, we sit out here with these men, and then you're talking about, well, they need to get therapy, they need to get help, they need to get things. But we want to discount the impact that a mother and a father has on our children. And as you can see here, there is an impact. The most common form of abuse is neglect. Because when we talk about abuse, we think of people hitting on each other and beating each other and things like that. But the most common form of abuse is neglect. And that's what it sounds like to me, is that there was a level of neglect. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, how could she mother the other children and didn't mother that one? And that goes to my point of just because we are women, just because we have nurturing natures, every woman was not meant to be someone's mom. And every woman was not meant to be someone's mom, particularly at a particular time. What I see with that son is indicative of women who have been put into motherhood too early. And particularly as a woman, when you have not satiated the things that you needed to get done. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some women that can multitask, and that's wonderful and that's great. But there's some women that cannot. Now, am I absolving Monique of anything? Absolutely not, because she's a grown woman that stands head tones on her things, and she knows what has happened, and she knows what she's done. I am particularly I'm okay with her verbalizing that, but we cannot discount how this son feels, and we can't discount how his life was, the trajectory that his life took. So I just wanted to say that to this, that I do appreciate this growth of this son, how articulate he was about being able to express uh, his hurts, his traumas, his healings. And I appreciate that. And I think that that should be applauded. I do appreciate Monique talking about the fact that she just wasn't ready to be a mom. um, that parenthood is one of those jobs that you have to take seriously. Just because you can lay down and do the act that causes for you to be pregnant doesn't necessarily mean that neither one of you are ready to be parents. And so I this is just a cautionary tale of what happens. And this is also a cautionary tale for us as women. You can't put yourselves on these pedestals or get upset when your children uh, talk to you about the hurts, the traumas, and things like that that they feel. It's just part of life. You can't go and shirk behind this mantra of motherhood, and I am their mom and they're supposed to love me and they're supposed to know. That part to me is a little selfish. um I'm not going to do a big deep dive, but I wanted to talk about that. What are y'all thoughts on that? And why are people out here online acting like Monique can't be criticized or held accountable for the stuff that as far as with her parenting, she put it out here. So it's out here for fodder for her to be able to be held accountable. You don't have to be nasty or anything like that. But I hope that this is a growth lesson for all of us, particularly those of us that want to be mothers, particularly those of you all that don't want to be mothers. This is part of that growth lesson for you to understand these are some of the pitfalls that you fall into in regards to motherhood. Okay. All right. So the next part of this fallout from Club Shay, we see Shannon Sharpe and Mike Epps. Now, as you know, Cat Williams went on Club Shay. I'm just giving the background information. There was some mention of Mike Epps. Mike Epps, I think either this past weekend or the weekend before last, went into a comedy set and he started to I guess he got upset about the whole situation. He started mouthing out uh, some demeaning things in regards to Shannon Sharpe or to Shannon, who Shannon Sharpe was. And Shannon Sharpe got upset. He got back on his podcast and he made certain statements. Okay. So I only did a very brief overview on that because a lot of the times when I see people do these videos and they say, oh, we in the Black community, we ought not uh, put out the bad thing and let people know what's going on. Y'all supposed to just keep this quiet and all of this other stuff. So this is what I'm going to say to all of us because I am guilty of the same thing too. Stop being a hypocrite because we keep putting this information out on our platforms. We keep putting this information out on our stuff. If we did not want other people or if you're feeling like you're beholden to how other people, other races, other ethnicities, other cultures view you, if you feel like you're beholden to that, then stop putting this information out here. I mean, I've seen video after video after video. We in the Black community, we shouldn't be doing all this. We're all being hypocrites. We're all being hypocrites because we know that's what moves the clicks and the views. We know that. I've talked about that for journalists, actual journalists. I wish that they would not do that, but we realize that clicks and views is the way society is running things right now. And so, what I would say to all of us is this: if you want the negativity to stop, stop spreading it. It's okay for if Monique wanted to go on Club Shay and air her stuff out, that's fine. If Cat wanted to go and air out his stuff, that's fine. Okay. Now, in regards to Mike Epps and Shannon Sharpe, it is my understanding that they have had a brief conversation and or are in talks to do a brief conversation about what's going on. And I know that Shannon felt like he should have handled it that way in the first place. Kudos to him. I see that Mike Epps got back on and he kind of backtracked some of his statements. Kudos to him. Let's see if let those grown men do what they do. Let those grown men do what they do. Going back to Monique, and this is going to be my last thing. I just spoke about her getting on stage and talking about this, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, she shouldn't talk about that anymore." She just, we all tell people that no one can tell you when to relay your trauma. right? We tell people that. Uh, there's no one saying that what she's saying is not the truth. But my question is to everybody, if what she's saying is the truth, and we have more of a problem with her telling the truth, why don't we have problems with the people who did the wrong? Why don't we have that kind of um, vitriol for the people that have done the wrongs? Now, like I said, I don't know these people from Jack Adam. I don't have any issues with Monique. I don't have any issues with Tyler Perry. I don't have any issues with Oprah. I don't have any issues with any of these people. But if you want this stuff to stay and remain in the community, I think that all people involved should have an accountability. And if we're going to tell Monique to sit down, shut up, and just take it, then I think we need to go back over here to Tyler and Oprah and talk about what's going on. Because once you don't deal with those people and those behaviors continue to manifest and they continue to go. So if you want it not to get into this open, all of these people in Hollywood who can talk to people and do things, these are the people that need to be doing the checks and balances with each other. Excuse me. And as an entertainment populace, where we are ingesting entertainment, you do that by not supporting the works. And that's just on period. All right. That's it. Those are my thoughts on the whole situation. What do y'all think? What do y'all think about Monique and her son? Give me your comments down below what you think on that information. What do you think about this Mike Epps and Shannon Sharpe stuff? What do y'all think about that? All right, people. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell that coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.